Good afternoon, I'm Vashan Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the words Spot Media. 3 persons were trapped inside a building that collapsed this morning. The tragedy took place at 7 Wildman Street in the Spoilers community around 5:30. An eyewitness says it started with the fall of a single brick.
This morning to brush beside the truck, as I get up, I see a brick fall. As the brick fall, I just see a building start to come down, and I run back inside and said, well, there's a house coming down. And I say, all right, boy, I call the police, and the police call the fireman, and I just went back inside and tell the people them, and I run outside and see everything was on the ground.
The persons were removed by fire personnel. No one was injured. Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, Ronald Thwaites, says assistance will be provided.
This occasion emphasizes the need for comprehensive renewal of the housing stock in the inner city. It can be done by the young people, many of whom you see around here, who would want work, and can be done with limited capital. This is what government's housing policy must emphasize. I will be bringing it to the attention of the Minister of Housing, Dr. Chang, for his assistance, and not only for here, but elsewhere. I know of his intention, and I would make sure that the Army and the KSAC come this morning and do whatever they can to clear the place.
He said once the area is cleared, the recovery process can begin. The Onotabe police in St. Mary are investigating a triple murder in the parish. It's reported that sometime Monday afternoon, the 3 men were on their way to a farm when they were ambushed by gunmen. They have been identified as 24-year-old Sherwayne Campbell, Ricardo Griffiths, and 33-year-old Lincoln Crossdale. The brother of Mr. Campbell says the men killed were not criminals.
The man them are not criminal. The man them are just a farm. The man them come and build up the place. See it there? See it there? Down to the bag with the man them plate and something. The man and a gun, the man them a bring their cutlass. See that Jamaica? The man food plate for them little food and get little spring water for guy in my yard with. And them kill off the youth them innocently without no reason at all. No reason. What the youth them do for deserve them thing. And the youth them not kill nobody, youth them not broke down nobody place. Love the youth them make them live no man.
The police are searching for several men who yesterday stole a truck transporting beer in Northampton, St. Elizabeth. The incident happened about 4:30 in the afternoon. It was reported that the driver of the truck, along with the sidemen, were making deliveries at a shop when the robbers stole the vehicle. According to the police, the engine was left running. Corporal Howard Richards of the Santa Cruz Police says the robbers were spotted shortly after.
What they were doing, they were trying to tie the rope onto a tree, onto the safe in the truck. I was trying to pull the safe from the truck to get that where the money came.
So the truck was laden with liquor?
It was laden with liquor, and that is about the last delivery.
The robbers eventually escaped. A major investigation is now underway into the seizure of more than $100 million worth of cocaine at Kingston Container Terminal. The narcotics police revealed that the seizure took place yesterday afternoon. About 2:45, the police, along with members of the Customs Contraband Enforcement Team, conducted a snap operation. They examined a 40-foot container and found 5 leather bags hidden inside. The bags had 78 parcels, each containing cocaine. The weight of the drugs was roughly 187 pounds with an estimated street value of $101 million. The police say the container also had a shipment of rice destined for a local distributor who they are now trying to find. The shipment went to Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic from Guyana before arriving in Jamaica. Our news center has learned that several firearms which were unaccounted for and stored in an unauthorized area at the Firearm Licensing Authority FLA have been retrieved. CEO of the FLA, Shane Dalling, confirmed that the discovery which took place yesterday was as a result of information received and an internal probe. He said based on reports from some persons and a probe by the FLA, it started changing certain procedures and systems at the state-run entity. Mr. Dalling says the discovery came out of changes being made at the authority and assistance from concerned parties.
We retrieved some firearms from a department where the firearms were not supposed to be. And those firearms were there based on the documentation, some over 3 years in that department. I don't want to disclose everything, but we found firearms. They were properly documented by the firearm examination officer in the presence of several senior members. We also found ammunition.
He also outlined the next step following this discovery.
We are preparing the report, and we have advised MOCA and the Ministry of National Security. We are allowing MOCA free hand to the FLA to do whatever they deem fit to bring this matter to a close.
The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, has been embroiled in controversy over the past few months, with serious questions being raised about its processes and allegations of widespread corruption. Over 180 taxi drivers protested outside Negro's Transport Center in Westmoreland yesterday morning. They refused to use the facility, which they say is filthy because the garbage has not been collected.
Why make sense you use the park every day and pay night, I don't look out all your front end? That don't make no sense. You see me? So we decide to say, we'll block the road, lock out the park gate Wednesday, and them talk to us, say, boy, all right, them will fix it. Sunday, I want to see nothing. Everybody bring them garbage from them yard and carry it empty on the park, and that's not nice.
When TVJ News spoke with the Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Audley Gordon, he said the agency started using a brand new garbage truck recently. He insisted that contrary to what the drivers reported, garbage is collected at the park weekly. He said the truck could not get to the park yesterday because taxi drivers had blocked the road. The St. James Municipal Corporation is undertaking work to upgrade and beautify sidewalks in downtown Montego Bay. Mayor of Montego Bay and the chairman of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Homer Davis, outlined why the beautification project is necessary.
So it is a well-needed project because when you go downtown Montego Bay, some of the sidewalks, they are not really fit for pedestrian eyes. The gratings along the sidewalks, some of them has deteriorated, and as a matter of fact, from time to time, you would see people slipping into them, and they create physical damage to themselves.
He revealed some of the areas which have been fixed so far.
So far, we have done work on the bottom of Union Street, Lawrence Lane, section of Cottage Road, and section of Arbor Street in the vicinity of KFC, and the library. So it is an ongoing project, and we'll be moving into St. James's Street and Church Lane and some other streets shortly.
The project is estimated to cost about 70 million Jamaican dollars. Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett says he's fulfilling his mandate of promoting national development. Speaking at the 2017 Education Trust's Tertiary Scholarship Award ceremony held recently, Mr. Bartlett noted that building human capacity is necessary as it promotes innovation and increases the quality of life.
Of this human development process that is going to enable us to build efficiencies from technology. And it is the commitment that I have and we have to building the human capacity that is going to make us not fearful of automation and robotics and what today we are calling cognitive systems, such as artificial intelligence.
He noted that though cognitive systems will lead to increased productivity and wealth, they also will impact the level of human involvement and activity.
It is felt, for example, that in the next 20 years, perhaps a third of the human workforce as we know it will be affected by artificial intelligence and robotics. That has implications for social order and social stability. That has implications also for planning and the political process, and invites us to ask big questions of ourselves as to how are we going to treat with that.
News overseas now. Harvey's havoc continues to pour down 3 days after the storm rammed Texas as a Category 4 hurricane, leaving thousands of residents stranded in flooded homes. We go to the CNN for the very latest.
You guys rescued her today. Walk us through what happened. I understand that when you came down upon her, she was face down in the water.
Correct. We were in the water, probably the first boat in the water in the area. We turned right into a street that had a large amount of current flowing through it. And our boat could barely make progress. So we advanced maybe 100 yards. And as we advanced, we saw some debris and some stuff floating in the water. You know, and we were just watching the current, which way it was going. And I think I heard it's a body, and it just kind of sounded jokingly to me. And then I said, no, that's a trash bag. Seriously thought it was a trash bag. As we got closer and the current pulled it closer to our boat, we realized it was a body. And instantly, Donnie jumped from the vessel, brought her up out of the water. Ricky was manning the boat. He jumped in immediately also. I was at the front of the boat, leaving us in a serious current with nobody manning the motor in the back. So they quickly grabbed her, started to resuscitate her, and were able to get her to breathing slowly. And then we were able to control the boat. So we got her back to safety.
And we go now to sports. After a drama-filled 2016 campaign, Haile Selassie High School is looking forward to the start of the ISA schoolboy football season with optimism. Renata Brown reports on the school's program after former coach Jeffrey Maxwell.
A school that surprised many on the field got a surprise of their own when coach Jeffrey Maxwell took on the Costa Cup side Dintil Technical midway the 2016 season. The move took its toll on a group of players who were looking to create history. But fast forward to 2017, and Haile Selassie High has put that disappointment behind them as they look forward to this season. A season that sees new coach Per Bartley calling the shots.
It's a new role with the Manning Cup team. And, it's really an uphill task in a sense, but I mean something that can work with still. And that's what I'm saying. No, first year as a Manning Cup coach, but someone can work in progress.
But even with the new season ahead, one can't help but reflect on what could have been.
Well, I don't know how to do it, because we got through a rough season with Mr. Maxwell, though, It's not really a soft season with Mr. Maxwell, though. I understand. But as we go along, we got through it calm and composed, and we went far. But this year, we plan with Mr. Perry, plan to went far this year. We plan to go far.
Well, it was a big deal, but it was kind of tough still, because with Jeff Maxwell around, he teaches us to knock ball, but there wasn't any motivation from him.
Bartley was not a front runner for the job, but he's seen as a good fit for a team that has made it to the second round of the Manning Cup in their last 3 seasons.
Well, so far, Mr. Bartley I'm quite pleased with what he's doing so far. I hope to see more, but we are not yet finished, so I'm just looking forward to see the best.
Former reggae boy Walter Boyd was first approached for the top post, but
he never really communicate that very well with me. I tell him about the job, and he texts me and say he will be at the school, but after that he don't say anything to me till we finally got a coach, and he texts me back, and I didn't reply back to him.
In the end, only time will tell if Bartley can do what previous coaches have done, but there's no harm in believing.
My expectation is to surpass what the team last year did, and see if we can at least end the season with a trophy.
Haile Selassie has been placed in Group A in the Manning Cup alongside Innswood, Kingston High, Pembroke Hall, Tivoli Gardens, and the 2016 finalists Wilmer's Boys. Renard Brown for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. Join us at 7 for Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, have a good afternoon.